guys, we're here today. We got the travel trailer out here, and I just wanted to make a video and show people how to set this thing up, because when we first got it, we were not sure what sequence to do things, when to level what, when to disconnect, when to put in chocks, when to do this, and it just seemed like a big discombobulated mess. So let's picture this. We've just backed this thing into a campsite and we've got to set it up. So I would stop about 2 feet before the perfect location. And the reason for that is we need to get the trailer level, okay? When I say level in this instance, I mean sideways, all right? One of the wheels or some of the wheels might be higher than the other wheels, and that's the first thing we're gonna fix when we get there. In order to do that, there's a couple of different things that people use, but we like to use these really heavy-duty plastic wedge shapes because they don't give you a lot of height, but in most cases they will work. I'm going to go around and find out first which side of the camper needs to be raised up in order to make it level, and I'm going to show you how to do that on the other side. See this little sticker right here? It says Hopkins front. This is one of 2 stickers that we got in a little small kit. You can see that the little air bubble inside is just a little bit over to the left. This air bubble is going to go toward the high side. Well, we don't want either side to be high. So I need to go to this side of the camper and add something under the wheels in order to raise it up. And as this side raises up, that ball will move over to the center, and we will know we have our camper level between the 2 sets of wheels. Okay, this is the side we need to raise up. I'm going to take these rocker style wedges or chocks, put them in behind it, because remember I said I stopped about 2 feet before where I wanted to be, and now I'm going to back the trailer up onto these. The beauty is the farther I back, the higher it's going to raise this up. So what I do is I put that sticker in the front in a location where I can see it partially from the rear view mirror, and as I back slowly, I can't see it super well, but I can get an idea. I also like to have somebody back here that can stop me if I'm going to back off of the back of these chocks, because they're really not very long. So I'm going to put the tow vehicle in 4-wheel low if you have that, and that way you can just creep up onto them really slowly and stop when the trailer's level. Okay, back over here at the bubble, we had backed up onto those things very carefully. We stopped somewhere in the middle. I'm looking back at this, just double checking it, and the ball is pretty much in the center. You're going to find that as long as it's really close to the center, you know, small adjustments are not going to make a big difference inside. It is a lot easier to fix the level on your camper right now. So if it is not level like you like it, everything is still hooked up, go ahead and fix it while you can, because I can count probably at least 5 or 10 times that we have been somewhere, got all set up and got inside and it's been unlevel, and I just cannot abide that. And so we have to stop playing and hook everything back up and fix the camper first. So fix it while you can. More point on this is slides. Our slide is only on one side. We only have one, it only comes out of one side. And as we get this level, later on when we put the slide out, that's going to be an enormous center of gravity shift in the trailer, meaning a lot of the weight from the trailer is going to shift over to just one side, and that could cause the trailer to tip a little. So in that case, you can take that into account as you're leveling your trailer up, and have one side a little bit higher so that as you extend your slide, it will kind of pull it down into position. Now that's kind of a finer point of doing it, but the more you do it, you will start to see that take place. The other part of these just slides in. Once you have them where you want it, you slide these in, and that should lock this side in place. I have these heavy-duty black chocks, which I'm going to use on the other side. We have 4 of these, so if this whole area was perfectly level, then we would just put these kind of chocks in on both sides. So I'm going to make sure to chalk the other side. Super important, chalk both sides before you go any farther. Okay, we carry around this old piece of treated 6x6. It works really well for putting down and kind of just extending this electric jack. I'm also going to lower this adjustable part of the electric jack down, kind of center these in place, And I'm gonna take a little bit of weight off of this hitch here. Then we're gonna start working on the sway bars. Okay, at this point, I'm not looking to jack this up a long way. I just kind of got that down and got a little pressure off of it. I'm gonna go ahead and take this sway bar off so you can see. I'm just gonna remove this back pin here. And then usually I grab it in both spots. And sometimes you'll have to use a pretty good bit of force to get that off. But once it's free from that, pull this little tab out and it drops down, and that's it. Try to put this back in right away so that it doesn't get lost, because you don't want to be looking for that. No, it doesn't. Once I gotta cut it, I gotta cut it.
Well, now you gotta cut it.
Well, I'm gonna bite you on the leg.
You're gonna have to cut that too.
I'm not cutting that part. You're aggravating me, and I'm not cutting that part. I'm doing the other sway bar on the other side. And now we're gonna get to some of this stuff. Sometimes the sway bars can be a little stuck in there due to the pressure and stuff. Be careful with those things. If it's unlevel, there could be a lot of pressure on them. You can really smash some fingers with those heavy things. But I'm gonna put this pin back in while I'm thinking about it. And go ahead and take the chains off up here. There's one chain. There's the other chain, and then this emergency brake cable cutaway. I'm gonna kind of grab both chains and move them out of the way. I don't want them getting tangled later on. And then I need to start worrying about taking this hitch off. Now, when I start thinking about taking this hitch off, I start wondering what the trailer is going to do when this comes up off of the tow vehicle. If you're not chalked at this point, you can hurt yourself or somebody else. So you really want to think about, before you start unhooking this, are your chocks in place? And if they are, I'm gonna lift up on that, slide it to the rear, and now, once we start jacking this up, it should start to take some pressure off the truck. And I may have to go inside the truck and move it forward or backwards just a little bit. I may have to put it in neutral momentarily. Sometimes there's still a little bit of pressure between the two that prevents it from disconnecting. Other times you get lucky. It looks like we're gonna get lucky on this one. Okay, at this point I would normally disconnect the power cable from the truck. And once I had that disconnected, I would make sure, visually check that everything is disconnected. Then gonna pull the truck out of the way. In this instance, I'm only gonna pull the truck up just a little bit. I will disconnect this to move the truck, but I need to piggyback off of that power so I can let this back down and show you how to level the rest. So I'm just gonna pull up a little bit, and I'm gonna plug my power back in so I can show you, because the battery on the trailer right now is drained. We haven't used it much in the last few weeks. So I pulled the truck forward. At this point, we would just be dealing with the trailer. You will see this power cable is plugged back in because the Next up, maybe we can just do without it. We use this one to level the camper sideways. Now we need to level the camper long ways. So come over here to the side. I have the same sticker really, but this one says side on it. So I put it on the side of my camper. There is a center mark that's kind of faded now. And I can see that this air bubble is a little bit right of the center mark. And it always goes to the high side. So in order to get this level, I need to lower the high side. All I have to do to lower the high side is come back up here and just go down on the electric jack. I'll normally have my daughter or my son standing here watching this, and as it gets close to the center mark, they'll just tell me to stop and I'll stop it. That's probably pretty close. Another consideration is inside the trailer, our bed is in the front part, and we put our heads also at the front, and I don't like my head to be lower than my feet. So I will usually stop this just a hair before completely level, just in case. Next up, we've got the trailer level. We've leveled it sideways, we've leveled it long ways. It is now time to lower these electric extenders, stabilizer jacks. That's what they're called. The electric stabilizer jacks. You may have a different kind of jack, but it's the same theory. At this point, you would go ahead and lower both of those. Remember, these are not made for jacking the trailer up. They're not super heavy duty. So as they start to touch the ground and put some heavy pressure on there, you don't want to go any farther. They're definitely not made for leveling your trailer up. You just want them to help stabilize it. A little low on the battery. We're here at the back of the trailer. We're lowering out this other stabilizer jack. And then the trailer is going to be pretty sturdy at that point. I will show you some scissor things you can put in between your tires, which we just added this last year. They're not necessary, but they are amazing for actually stabilizing the trailer. When you're inside moving around, kids are getting bigger, they get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, just walking on the thin floor, shaking the place around. And these stabilizers that I'm going to show you are a game changer for that. This is what I'm talking about. They are called, it looks like BL X-Chocks. They're called X-Chocks. They fit in between your tires like this. They come with this little ratcheting wrench. And as you tighten these things up, they will stop all of that rotational movement inside your axles. And like I said, it is super stabilizing inside. I mean, it's almost like you bricked up your trailer overnight. And when people are moving around inside and other people are sleeping, it really does take a lot of that motion out of the trailer. I wanted to show you a different kind of leveling system that a lot of people I know you're gonna have, that are these little building Lego blocks. We don't use these a lot, but when we do need them, they're usually super helpful because we can build them up even higher than these. So it doesn't matter which system you have, you can do this the way we were doing the leveling. You can do it in the same way. You build these, you hook them together, you back up on them and stop when you need to. And then of course, we actually have two different sets of those because we've been in some places where we needed to raise it up even higher, and that was just the best way to do it, was to cave in, buy another set. That way we can raise that side of the camper up a little bit more. How's my hair look?
Here looks good.
Talking about the slide, we're almost done, guys. The slide, when we let the slide out, it's important that you don't have obstacles, right? That seems obvious to everybody, but we've almost broken off a water spigot before. We got really close to hitting some tree limbs at Zion on the way in. I think we did hit them on the way out. There's also this door to worry about, which we lovingly call the duty door, because that's most of the stuff that goes in there. It can actually get behind your slide here and get hung as it's coming out. So I'm going to show you the procedure that we use. We always have someone standing outside looking through the window of the slide to another person at the control panel. So the person outside, if everything is clear, is giving a thumbs up. I know it looks ridiculous, but it has saved us so many times on breaking the slide. And I'd rather look ridiculous in a campsite for a few minutes than be worried about spending half of my vacation trying to figure out how to get the slide back on the rails, or fix the door on the back, or fix broken stuff inside. So we're going to go inside. I'm going to show you a couple of other things that can get broke off on the inside in our model while you're using the slide, so that you can better evaluate yours. But having somebody outside with a thumbs up as the slide is moving in or out will really reduce your chances of breaking something on your travel trailer. All right, guys, one thing I want to show you here on the inside is this door. This door can actually come over and go behind your slide when it's not out so far. You can see there's some scuff marks here on the door. And that's because we have left that door open before while putting the slide out and broken off a piece of molding, wood molding that goes back there. So try not to do that. I'm also going to show you the ladder down here to the kids' bunk beds. If the slide was out farther, this ladder right here actually extends out past where the slide goes. So this all would be gone, the ladder would come out, and if you forget to leave that ladder out while you're packing up, you're going to break it off. So just a couple more things to watch for while you're moving the slide to try and keep from breaking it. Hey guys, that's all I got to show you on setting up. I'll do another video sometime on hooking up the utilities and a few points in there that might help out. Thanks for watching the video. Hopefully it's helped you with something. I'd like to thank my wife, who is my camera lady today, and has also saw me break and screw up most of this stuff as we've been traveling around for the last few years. So yeah, if you like the video, if it helped you out, please consider giving it a thumbs up. hit the subscribe button. We've got some more videos coming. If you're getting ready to leave your campsite, then you can watch our follow-up video to this one, which is going to be how to hook up your travel trailer, and it's a similar thing but in reverse, so maybe there's some other points in there that you might pick up. Thanks, and we'll see you out there.